Hello everyone, this is Diane. We are having another rainy day here in the Northeast. It has been raining for, seems like months. It's been several weeks that we've had rain most days. And there is some flash flooding and that type of thing in the area, in the places that normally flood when we have a lot of rain. But we'll get through it. So today is a palette cleansing day, so to speak. I finished the cabinet card journals, the ones that had the antique cabinet cards on the front. I finished those. Sold the one I put in the shop. Thank you so much. And so before I get into the next series of journals, I don't want to wait too long because it's going to be, I'll talk about it later, but I like to do something in between. I did clean up my craft room yesterday. I finished it yesterday. And I've got all my supplies out for the next project, but I want to do a little more work in here and also hopefully do a page in this book, which I haven't done in a very long time. This is the one I use for vintage ladies, and I didn't get out any of my vintage ladies except these two were already in here, so maybe I'll just use those. I didn't prep for that part. So as promised, before I get into this, I said that I would show you this one. It's the same book. These measure 3.5 by 5.5, and these are Martha Stewart brand that I got years ago at Staples on clearance, but it's the same size as a field note size book, I believe. And they're good quality because it held up well to having stuff glued on every single page. So this is the finished one. After I completed the pages, I went ahead and oh, allergies are bad this year. I went ahead and decorated the front cover, and I liked this for the title, Write Your Own Story. And this is Mona Lisa done in buttons. Isn't that cool? So this is what it looks like. Now, I said in the last video, this is for the benefit of those who haven't been with me that long because it's been over a year since I worked in these. I do 2 pages, like a spread, a 2-page spread in the front, and then I do a 2-page spread in the back of the book. And that way I'm keeping it even. So look how nicely the spine is very symmetrical. If I had just done front to back, it would have bulged here and it would have been misshapen. So I'm going to just do a really quick flip through. I'm not going to talk about them. I'll just let you see. So these books are just specifically for images of ladies, usually, and a quote. And I have to use a background for some of them. Like this one, I didn't. I just put that on and added the words. And sometimes I add some washi tape or something to fill in a small gap. And then I use some pen work to finish it off. I like this. Meanwhile, back at the castle, but it's fun. It's creative and it's simple, and I don't have to think about it too much. It's not high art, but I do enjoy creatively pairing the images with the backgrounds and the words. It all works together, and it is fun to try to compose it. And it's relaxing. And I do want to do a glue book again. I'll work on that after I move. I will create a new glue book for myself because I sold the one that I had created that I was going to get into. So I sold it. I don't think I did any pages in it before I sold it. This one I even used a piece of vintage wrapping paper. So this one isn't a lady. It's a bust of, it's a little cartoony image of Beethoven. This is even the thank you part of a guest check. But she's raising her hands up to the sky to embrace the snowflake, but I envisioned it as her thanking God. Did this just fall off of something? It's a fantastic day to be fabulous. That just fell out, but it could say it's a fantastic day, be fabulous. I'll glue that back on. So my goal is to maybe finish this book this year. This one took years because I would set it aside for a long time. And of course I set this one aside for over a year. I started it, I try to remember to date every page because I complete a page in one sitting. I started this in 2021. Wow. So I really neglected this, but I did use it in January of 24. I used it in 2022. So it's been very sporadic. But I'm going to keep at it and try to finish this one this year. So I'm going to go to the back and I'll do this page. I usually do 2 pages, and I don't know why I didn't do both pages here. So we have to select an image. It's been so rainy, maybe I'll pick this one that's in shadow. Now I have to find words to go with it. That could be the background as it rains and then the greenery comes up from the ground. It didn't rain yesterday and I was very happy to be able to finish my mowing. Grow beautifully, grow confidently. You know, that is a good concept. If I could make everything fit, because we have to have the rain for things to grow. And so we go through rainy periods and then we get beautiful, that's a fern springing up from the ground. And sometimes we have to go through rainy periods in our lives in order to grow. So that is a good metaphor. Let's see, I gotta know, I have to know how much space I need for the words. I dug out a sweater today. I had my sweaters packed. And today I thought, nope, I need a sweater. There's a chill in the air today. So I have them packed in like a kitchen trash bag instead of boxes, because it's just easy to grab a trash bag and move it instead of a box of clothes. So it's in my closet. I just opened up the bag and took the first sweater I found. I had a visit with a friend yesterday. She doesn't live in my state. She comes to visit her son and his wife and kids. And whenever she's here, she wants to get together with me. So she texted me on Wednesday and said she was here and could we get together. And at first I was like, I have so much to do. I'm trying to get ready to move, but you know, really, I'm not doing a whole lot for the moving aspect because I still have a month before I can start moving stuff in about 3 weeks, but my moving day is a month away. Just about, or maybe a little more. Yeah, it's a little more than a month away. So I don't want to pack too much, you know. Anyway, I just feel overwhelmed with stuff. And so my first instinct was, no, I don't have time. But then I thought, I don't see her very often. And so, yes, I'll make time. So she came out here. I drove her past the house I'm going to be moving into so she could see where I'll be living. And then we went out for ice cream. So that was a nice visit. Let's see, I'll eliminate some of the bottom. And you saw I rounded the corner because the corner of these pages are round. Yeah, that all fits. Oh, I also wanted to show you this one. So when I'm done with this page, I'll show that to you. Maybe we'll just do one page today to catch up here. And then work in the other collage book. I'm actually hoping to get started on the covers of the next journal project today, because I don't think I'm going anywhere today. I just switched to this glue stick because it's smaller. for doing these little pieces. The first one I was using was Uhu, and I had to order that from Amazon, I think. I don't ever see it locally. And I just wanted to try it because everybody talks about it. But what I usually use is Elmer's Craft Bond Extra Strength. And it comes in this size and a bigger size. And I use both. Oops. I'm almost out of camera, aren't I? Trying to avoid my glue paper here. Let's just get that out of the way. Normally, I would use my black Stabilo water-soluble pencil and go around the outside, but this is so dark, I'm going to use my white Sigmo. Is it Sigmo? Uniball. I don't think this is the one I normally use. Let me see. Oh yeah, it is. Signo Uniball. Yep, this is what I use. It's a white gel pen. So I'm just going to draw a line around the outside. Just putting some random dots in the corners. I don't know if I want to outline her in the white with the dots like I normally do, because she's in shadow and I don't really want to pull her out from the shadow. So this is going to be a little bit different today. I will do a black line here and smudge it with my water. So when we are going through the rainy periods in our lives, we can grow bitter, resentful, depressed. So this encourages us to grow beautifully. So as a Christian, I would turn to God. I turn to God when I go through difficult times. and try to grow from the experience. So that's a good reminder there. I'm just going to put the date on it, and I think this is the only one we're going to do. And then next time I think I'll come back and do a double spread in the back. But today is, I think it's the 9th. Now I wanted to show you this one too, because this was a felted cover that my friend Purio made. She felted it herself. And so she made me this little journal and sent it to me. I added this on the front. The buttons were already there. The ribbon was already there. And I think the charms were already here. Were the charms here, Purio? This is some kind of a knitting thing to mark where you are or count gauges or something. I don't knit, so I don't know, but I thought it was really cute on there. I'm pretty sure she put that on there because I don't think I've ever had one of those. So I decided to use the Mrs. Coggs in the Garden series of images. So she has pink in the garden, white in the garden, blue in the garden. She might have more, but those are the 3 colors that I had. So I just printed those out and I did little collages with the Mrs. Coggs images. And for some, I added a word. But mostly, and then I did use, I did words on one side of the page for some, so I wasn't gluing on every page and adding bulk. This is glued. There's some German text there. Now, Purio lives in Germany. She was born in Finland, but she lives in Germany. I think I started out gluing on every page, and then I started writing a quote to kind of help alleviate thickness. So you get the idea. I just used the Mrs. Coggs images, some trims and scraps of paper, and it's just one signature. And I had a lot of fun filling this book up. And these are gardening quotes because these images are garden pictures. So I treasure this book because I love the images and it was fun to put this together, and my friend Purio made it for me, and I just think it's so special. So I just wanted to share that with you. I know I've shown it before, but I keep it with this one, and I got this one out, and I thought, well, I should show you those too, because many of you haven't seen it. All right, so now let's see if I can get started again in this journal. I think the longer, or this collage book, the longer I'm away from doing a certain kind of work, the harder it is for me to get back into doing it. I feel intimidated by it. I have this page here, and I want to cover that up. So I don't know if I'll use both of those ladies. These are from Spiegel catalog. This is the front cover. So these were on the inside cover, and they're sturdy. So I need something there. I didn't get anything out for, oh yes I did. I brought in my baskets. Remember my baskets that I use when I do my glue book? So I sold a lot of my glue book magazine images that I had saved, and I kind of regret it because it's hard to find the right kinds of magazines in the stores. They don't print magazines as much anymore. But I do have a lot of images in here. I saved lady images for my for this book, so that's a good thing. But I sold a lot of my magazine images, and I really don't regret it, but I didn't need as much as I had. So I need to find something to cover that page. And I do have some full page magazine pages for that purpose. I have these clipped together. I think they're all ladies. Well, maybe I don't want to do a full page. Maybe I want to piece together a background. Got some more ladies here. Let's see what this is. Maybe I'll do that. I think it goes well with the facing page. I'll pull a few out and see what I decide on. This is not the page I was on. Where was I here? See this, all these colors go with all the colors I've used over here, and she's dressed in neutral colors, and these ladies are black and white, aren't they? No, they're not black and white, but they're also in neutral, so I think a bright background is just the ticket. I'm not sure which of those I'll use, or if I'll use both of them. I'm going to trim this off, that little point that comes out. Okay, and I need something for down here. What? Forward. I'm not looking for words in particular. I just need a strip of something. These are all flowers. I wonder what I did with all the rest of my baskets. How about this? It says gallery. I like this, apotheca, Latin, meaning storehouse. That's what our craft rooms are. They are our storehouse. It's a nice quote too. And now let us welcome the new day, full of things that have never been. I might use that. Who looks like she's ready to welcome the new day? I think they both do. She looks pretty eager. And I don't necessarily try to make a statement or tell a story when I'm doing collages in my glue books. I just, you know, sometimes they just happen. And sometimes I purposely do them. Like the little blue book, I do try to say something. But for these, I just like to glue things down and have fun. Now, it would be nice if I had a black and white image of a flower, but I probably don't. Because I don't think I want to add more color onto that. Yeah, I don't see any black and white flowers. So let's look for something else that's, how about that? Those are the quotes. Maybe I could just keep it simple and just use the lady and the quote. I've got a lot of bright colors in here. And the black and white images are ladies. I don't want to add another lady. Well, I'm going to start by gluing down the background. She's from the Spiegel catalog too. She might also be from the front cover. That's probably why I had all three of them stuck in the book. Globbed the glue, a chunk of it in there. Well, I'm going to have to edit. I was going to try to do this video without editing, but I'm going to go look for a black and white image. I think that perhaps if I want a black and white flower, the best way to do it is to stamp one. So I could do this very classic looking engraved flower design, or this more light and free and airy, more modern one. So maybe I'll stamp them both and see which one I like. I just have this paper here. I got out my mouse pad for stamping and then didn't use it. But that worked well. I'll use it for the second one. doesn't look so good. Let's try that one again. All kinds of papers that I don't need, that I use for gluing and stuff. I want one that looks clean. I think I can do that one. Beautiful. You know, I could have used my Misty, but I forgot. I'm still not used to having that. But it worked. See my little scissors. Okay, I have 2 styles of flowers cut out. I think I like this one better simply because it has more volume and I can put it behind her. Yeah, I like that. So we'll go with that. I'm gonna cut that little piece off. Don't want to cover the words of the quote. I think it goes like this, right? Yeah, I think so. I'll leave that up so I can glue it on top of her. I'm going to use my Fabri-Tac glue because she's a sturdier piece of paper. Not sure if the glue stick would hold her down. Well, I didn't end up with her exactly where I wanted her. That's okay. I wanted her closer to the edge because she's got a flat side there. That's okay. And I think that that's good for this collage. Let me see. As soon as I get my glue on, I want to see where we are time-wise. It says 46 minutes, but I have some editing to take out. But I think that that is probably long enough. So I was able to do 2 pages today. This one and, not that, this one. I hope you enjoyed this little glue session, And I will be back to do more. I'm glad that I'm getting back into doing this. And I'm looking forward to making myself a new glue book. Or I actually bought one from Carla Frizzell. So maybe I'll just start on that one after I move. So yeah, thank you for watching, and I will be back again and come back to see what the next journal project will be. I'm excited about it. I'll see you then. Have a creative day. Bye.